One of these putters sold brand new for $15.50. Another got bought used out of the back of a golf shop for the price of a nice dinner. Today, those same clubs trade for thousands, tens of thousands, and in one case, close to $400,000. Most of them look like something you'd toss into a garage sale bin without thinking twice. At least, that's what the people who sold them thought. These are 10 vintage putters quietly becoming priceless. If one is sitting in your bag, do not sell it. So how does a putter that once cost less than a tank of gas end up worth more than a used car? It really comes down to three things: who made it, who won with it, and how few are left. Keep those in the back of your mind, because they're the difference between a $20 flea market find and a 5-figure grail. Let's start with the ones you're most likely to actually stumble on. Number 10. The Ray Cook Blue Goose. If you grew up playing public courses in the 60s and 70s, you've probably held one of these without knowing it. Ray Cook was a nobody engineer who started building forged aluminum mallet putters in 1963, and he called himself the Putter Man. Here's the part that gets forgotten. Ray Cook putters went on to win more than 200 tour events, including all 4 majors. Bob Hope and Bing Crosby were carrying them around Hollywood before most people had ever heard the name. The collectible line is the Blue Goose series, and here's the good news for you. Most of them still sell for somewhere between $40 and $150. That's the sleeper. That's the one hiding in a milk crate at an estate sale right now. But watch the provenance, because that's where the money lives. When Golden Age Auctions ran a sale, one of the lots was Scotty Cameron's personal Ray Cook Blue Goose. When the guy who builds $400,000 putters keeps an old aluminum mallet in his own collection, that should tell you something. Don't dump the Blue Goose, ever. Number 9. The Acushnet Bullseye. This is the one where the stamp is worth more than the club. A man named John Reuter Jr. started hand-making brass blade putters in his garage up in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Simple brass head, fluted steel shaft, nothing fancy. Then around 1962, Acushnet, the company behind Titleist, bought him out and started making these things by the hundreds of thousands. So if you flip yours over and it says Acushnet or Titleist on the sole, I'm sorry, but you're probably looking at a $20 to $40 putter. Here's the detail almost everyone misses. The earliest ones, the ones Reuter made before Acushnet ever got involved, are stamped John Reuter Jr. with the words patent pending and no Titleist logo anywhere. Those are the valuable tier, same shape, same brass, completely different money, purely because of what's stamped on the bottom. That's your finance lesson for this whole video, by the way. On vintage putters, condition and markings decide everything. So before you sell any old brass blade, turn it over and read the sole like it's a lottery ticket, because sometimes it is. Number 8. The Wilson 8802. This one is pure nostalgia. It started life in 1962 as the designed by Arnold Palmer putter. When Palmer left Wilson the next year, they quietly renamed it after its catalog number, the Wilson 8802, and a legend was born. It's a thin, heel-shafted blade with a tiny sweet spot and no alignment line. Brutal to putt with, gorgeous to look at. Now here's the story that made it famous. Back in 1967, a 15-year-old kid named Ben Crenshaw wanted one, and his father found a used one in Harvey Pennock's golf shop and bought it for him as a birthday present. Depending on who you ask, he paid either $15 or $20 for it. Crenshaw nicknamed it Little Ben, and he won the 1984 Masters with that same blade. That's not the kind of number that makes accountants cry, but think about it for a second. A $15 golf shop putter won a green jacket at Augusta National. A clean 1964 model runs around $350 today, but the real prize is the original Wilson Arnold Palmer version from '62. Those have crossed $1,000. One tip before you buy or sell one. The genuine article should read only the Wilson 8802 on the sole, Wilson in red, the rest in black. Learn that, and you'll never overpay or undersell one again. Number 7. The Schenectady Putter. This is the only club on this list that got so good they banned it. Back in 1903, a General Electric engineer named Arthur Knight, working in Schenectady, New York, built a center-shafted aluminum mallet. Instead of the shaft joining at the heel, it went right into the middle of the head, and suddenly putting got a whole lot easier. An amateur named Walter Travis picked one up and became the first American ever to win the British Amateur in 1904, and the British golf establishment lost their minds. In 1910, the R&A banned center-shafted putters entirely. And get this, they didn't lift that ban until 1951. That was the first time in history the American and British rule makers openly split over the rules. So this little aluminum putter didn't just win tournaments, it started an international rules war that lasted 40 years. A genuine Schenectady usually runs somewhere between $300 and $1,000 depending on condition. The magic words to look for are patent applied for stamped on the head. That marks the earliest examples, made by the Harry C. Lee Company right around 1903. And no, I'm not making that up. Number 6. The McGregor Tommy Armour Iron Master. Named after a Scottish legend they called the Silver Scot, Tommy Armour won the US Open, the PGA Championship, and the British Open between 1927 and 1931. McGregor put his name on a beautiful blade putter, and most of them today sell for anywhere from $20 to $150. Affordable, classic, easy to find, but there's a rare version that flips the whole thing. It's called the IMG5, and the tell is a double row of little X marks stamped on the hosel. Gilchrist's Guide to Golf Collectibles, which is basically the price Bible for this stuff, lists that one at $2,500. Same putter name, a couple of extra stampings, and the value jumps by a factor of 20. And here's a bonus fact for the trivia pile. When Arnold Palmer won the 1960 US Open, one of the greatest final rounds ever played, he did it with a doctored McGregor Iron Master before Wilson ever built him his own signature putter. So the next time you see a dusty McGregor blade at a yard sale, check that hosel. Those little X's might be worth more than the rest of your clubs combined. Quick thing before we keep climbing. If you're the kind of person who actually flips their clubs over to read the sole, you're my kind of viewer. Hit subscribe, because I dig up hidden value like this every single week. All right. From here up, we leave the flea market finds behind. These next 5 are the ones collectors genuinely chase. Number 5. The George Lowe Wizard 600. George Lowe was a legendary putting guru and part-time hustler who could roll a golf ball better than almost anyone alive. And in 1959, his name went on a putter built by Sportsman's Golf under the Sportsman and Bristol brands. Then Jack Nicklaus picked one up. Nicklaus won a huge chunk of his early professional victories and major championships with a Wizard 600 in his hands. According to Ram Golf, the putter racked up 15 majors and at least 61 professional wins over the years. Now here's the part that should make you go check the garage. The originals first sold for $15.50, $15.50, and collectors have since paid as much as $24,000 for the right one, from $15.50 to $24,000. That's a return most stock portfolios would kill for. Gary Player even won the 1961 Masters with a George Lowe signature putter of his own. So how do you spot the value here? Look for the George Low autograph model, and if you ever find the ultra-rare sideways stamped Sportsman prototype, you've hit the jackpot. A putter that costs less than a movie ticket now trades for the price of a car. That's the whole theme of this list, sitting in one club. Number 4. The Ping Scottsdale Anser. This is the putter that changed how everybody putts. In early 1966, Karsten Solheim sketched a new design on the back of a 78 RPM record sleeve at his kitchen table. He pushed the weight out to the heel and the toe, which made the putter far more forgiving, and he filed the patent that May. It got approved in March of 1967. That heel-toe design is now the single most copied putter shape in the history of golf. Ping says the Anser has won more than 500 tour events and 19 men's major championships. Here's where it gets interesting for hunters. The very first run, only about 4,000 of them, were made in Scottsdale, Arizona, and they have sloped toe and heel weights instead of squared ones, and no registered trademark symbol. The address stamped on the sole is the whole game. A standard Scottsdale Anser sells for a few $100s, but the earliest examples reportedly run from around $1,500, used to $4,000 in mint condition, and people find these at Goodwill. There are documented cases of Ansers turning up at thrift shops and flea markets with the original "do not remove" until sold sticker still wrapped around the grip. That's a $500 putter sitting in a bin for $4. Read the sole. Always read the sole. Number 3. The Ping Redwood City One-A. If the Anser changed golf, this is the club that started the whole company. Before Ping even existed, Karsten Solheim was building putters by hand in his garage in Redwood City, California. The head was hollow, so when it struck the ball it made a loud ping sound, and that noise literally named the company. The sole on a real one reads, Ping by Karsten, Redwood City, California. Patent pending. Collectors call it the rookie card of golf because it's Karsten's very first putter, made around 1959. In May of 2022, the golf auction sold one for $11,939, and even beat-up examples start around $1,000. But here is the single most important sentence in this entire video. If you ever find one, do not clean it, do not regrip it, do not touch that original hand-wrapped leather. Collectors will pay a fortune for one that's untouched and dusty, and almost nothing for one that some well-meaning person polished up. Tearing off that old leather grip doesn't restore the putter. It destroys the value. Originality is the whole ball game. So if a hollow-headed old Ping ever turns up in a relative's closet, wrap it in a towel and call an auction house before you do anything else. Number 2. Bobby Jones and Calamity Jane. This might be the most famous putter in the history of the sport. Bobby Jones won 13 major championships, including the 1930 Grand Slam, all of it with an old offset hickory blade he named Calamity Jane. He actually used 2 of them, and both originals are now locked away, one at Augusta National, the other at the USGA Museum. Those 2 are effectively priceless. Nobody's even trying to put a number on them. But here's where it gets real for collectors. In the summer of 2019, one particular Calamity Jane crossed the auction block. This wasn't a random replica. It was a putter Jones himself had sent to a collector named Fred Fry, and it came with an actual 1937 letter from Jones describing it. It was called the only privately owned example that could be definitively placed in Bobby Jones's own hands. It sold for $78,658. Now, the mass-produced Spalding replicas of Calamity Jane are only worth around $450, so don't go thinking every hickory blade is a jackpot. The difference, once again, is provenance. A putter is worth $400. The same putter with a letter proving Bobby Jones touched it is worth almost 80 grand. Paper trails are money. Number 1. The Scotty Cameron Circle T and the Tour prototypes. This is where old-school garage finds meet modern millions. Scotty Cameron started designing for Titleist in 1992, and his Tour-only putters carry a small letter T inside a circle stamped right on them. They were never sold in stores. You could only get one if you were a professional playing on tour, which is exactly why collectors lose their minds over them. A used Circle T putter sells for a median of around $3,000, with rare tour pieces pushing past $14,500. Limited runs like the My Girl model, only 1,500 ever made, go for $5,000 to $8,000, and the whole Circle T range can climb anywhere from $5,000 to $40,000. But we are not done, because there's a ceiling to this market, and his name is Tiger Woods. In August of 2021, one of Tiger's backup Scotty Cameron Newport 2 putters sold at Golden Age auctions for $393,300. The auction house believes it is the most expensive golf club ever sold, and that was a backup. Not even the one he actually gamed. Experts think his real putter, the one he won 14 of 15 majors with, would go for multiple millions. That's not a golf club anymore. That's an asset. And it all started with a guy machining putters in a workshop, the same way Karsten did in his garage 60 years earlier. So let's go back to where we started. A putter that sold for $15.50. A blade a teenager got for pocket change out of a golf shop. A dusty, hollow-headed Ping that ended up naming an entire company. Every single one of them was once treated like nothing, and today they're worth more than most people's cars. The collectibles market as a whole was worth over $300 billion last year, and it's still climbing, and old golf clubs are riding that wave right along with it. Here's the takeaway you can actually use. Never clean it, never regrip it, always read the sole, and chase the paper trail. Those 4 rules are the difference between a garage sale and a windfall. So go dig through the bag in the back of the closet. Then come find me, because I break down hidden value like this every week, and the next one might be sitting in your house right now.